to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have set sights to show you. This Nintendo 64 of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is our star gladiator of a co-host, Winter Trash Monk the Thizard.
Tonight, we fight the bugs! I don't know.
We can ill afford another Glendatu. Glendatu.
Yes.
Oh, a good bug is a dead bug.
Yes, we need Starship Troopers 2 reboot. We need the HBO on it, and then have Netflix release. I don't know, something stupid like that.
I want a Game of Thrones level Starship Troopers multi-episodic, super space drama. With the
After a while, I don't know if they were the bug or if I was the insect.
I was born a man, but I'll die an insect.
Yeah, my friend Joey was ripped to shreds 2 clicks from Mars base. I don't know.
I went to go grab a soda, and all I heard was, medic!
Yeah. For some reason, we're in the 26th century, but we still listen to 1960s music.
I got kicked out of the barracks because I wouldn't turn down my glam rock. They could never turn it down.
There you go. What's up, everybody? I'm Winter at Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk.
Yeah.
And I'm coming at you from the Rad Pad in my office, looking at the show notes, and we've got a great episode, don't we, today?
Yes, we do, Johnny. We got a great episode coming your way. It's about 5 past the hour, and the temperature is a cool 75 degrees.
All right. How was my week, you're asking?
How was your week, Johnny?
Johnny. My week was fantastic, Conan.
Wow.
Yeah, or Merv Griffin. Yeah, you're Merv.
You shouldn't call me Craig Ferguson, Doug.
Craig Ferguson?
Yeah.
No. You, no one can be Craig. Craigie Ferg.
Craigie Ferg.
Yeah. So my week is pretty good. I mean, the day that I'm working at the youth center that I work at. I'm not going to dox myself now.
Do it.
I only had to work today, and then I have the rest of the week off. So now I have a printer that just came in the mail today that I'm going to hook up. And I thought there were some packages that were not going to arrive till tomorrow, but they arrived today.
Oh, so, yeah. Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
More books. Things coming up, Millhouse. And funny youth story today. There was a girl who came in who had blue hair, kind of like a bluish gray. She was wearing red lipstick and kind of like she dyed her eyebrows blue.
Okay.
And she kind of had like a white clown makeup as well.
Okay.
And then I went, oh, so you've heard about the new Joker movie coming out next year?
Shots.
And she goes, what? No, it wasn't like I was dissing her. It's like she's a fellow nerd, I would say. And I was wondering, did you see the trailer for that Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie coming out? She goes, no. I'm like, oh, man, you're going to have to check it out. And she went, okay. And then she quickly left. And I'm like,
wow.
There's no way. I thought there was no way. Because her, the tone of, the color that she was using were identical to what the Joker makeup was.
So
Polyoxy clown.
So I have one question that may help
Yeah.
shed some light on this situation.
Yeah.
Did she happen to be drinking a fruit punch Fago by any chance?
No, no, she's not an ICP cult member. So,
I'm just asking because these are the clues we have to keep an eye on,
yeah,
man.
yes, but she was walking around with someone with a Hatchet Man logo on his
See,
jacket.
Mm. You have to Sherlock Holmes these things, my dude, just to make sure.
Yes.
You never know.
Nor do I want to know.
Right. It is none of your business.
Yes. So that's pretty. That's pretty much what my week. I also completed a quick 10-minute script for the audio drama competition. I edited it. I put it into a second draft and I just sent it out. And hopefully it will be picked. I'll know by December 5th.
Good
Whether
times, man.
yeah,
You put 110% into it,
yeah.
man. Did you give it your all?
Yeah, I gave it my all, and guess what? I'm back into doing part 2 of a multi-part series that is still a hush hush secret.
Shh. All the hushes, my good man.
Yeah.
So many quiet hush.
So compared to my week, how was your week?
Your week was productive, pretty much based upon my week.
Huh?
I have the worst luck with eBay. I just have the worst absolute luck. Like selling, buying, like I just can't do it. Like I don't mentally understand how it works. I have a buddy who's like all day eBay. He sells old magazines and makes a ton of money. I don't get how he does it. He's really good at it. But me, I seem to have like this scarlet letter. If I put up
Yeah.
anything or try to buy anything, it just explodes right in my face. Impossible to handle. It explodes. Like,
Yes, I do have an eBay story too that I forgot to mention.
yeah, go for it. It ties into what I'm talking about. Tell us your eBay
Yeah,
story.
so in the cleaning out of the youth center today, there was a box of VHSs, and there were 3 of them that were unopened, and they say promotional use only, and there were 3 from what I gathered, these were like given to like video rental stores to like play on the screen.
Yeah.
And there, well, actually, one of them was that, and then the other 2, I can't explain, or like they were for rentals. Anyways, the first, I looked up the prices for each one of these, and you'll probably not be surprised that they didn't break $20, if 15.
Right.
The first one was and they all also said not for resale, but of course I went right away to see how much I could sell them for.
Hell, man.
One of them was like a theatrical and promotional release of a Japanese Japanimation of it was on a series about the Hiroshima bomb. Ben Ninjin, or it has a boy running in it. I can't remember the title of it, but anyways, that's worth $5. Next one was Puppet Master 4.
You got to keep that one, my friend. You got to
Yes.
hold on to that one.
That was I saw a copy of it that was listed as $15.
Really?
Yes. Of course that has not been sold, so they're not going to get $15.
There's one puppet master dude out there who's really like, that's the last one he needs, man.
Yes, and there is a connected, and the next movie is connected to that. It is Trancer 4. Have you heard of Trancer, the series?
Yeah, that's the Full Moon series, man. Trancer is too real, dude.
Yes. By the way, the actor that plays the main guy in Trancer, do you know what other movie he's in?
Yeah, he's in Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys.
There you go.
You don't know anything.
Yeah, you're a little weird nerd.
Man, don't kink shame me, bro.
I'm not. Hey, man. Hey, I feel like I would watch those movies before probably watching another Marvel movie. Anyways, so Yeah, so that was worth like $6, but they're just gonna be on my shelf now as like odd nerd memorabilia.
Yeah, man, you gotta watch Subspecies, dude. You gotta
Yeah,
watch
that was
all
on
the
the
full
list
movie.
too.
What?
Yeah,
Just watch
that
it.
was on the that was on like the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, you gotta. I love full moon films because they're like trauma films, but they don't. But they take themselves way too serious. It's like,
Right, like there's such a
yeah,
backstory. It seems like.
yeah, like the demonic toys were. I don't even want to go into like the tragic history of the demonic toys, or even the bloodstone of Subspecies 2. My man, it's too good.
So
That's a movie
maybe I
called
will watch these, and the next year for
Halloween.
spooky Halloween, we will go through the list of
Yeah,
Puppet Master. Yeah,
don't you don't have to threaten me with a good time. Watch those all day, dog.
right.
I would dedicate
Um,
the entire month to just really crappy full moon films, and there's enough of
yes.
them. We can fill
Now
them up.
I believe I've seen a Puppet Master film before, but I believe that this Puppet Master was either like a reboot or something, or they were trying to tie in all the movies together
Yeah, man.
because there was a lot of like flashbacks. Like
Yeah.
80% of the film was, I don't remember which one it was, but it was a ton of flashbacks, and then they kill somebody who's lifting weights. Yeah.
Yeah, the full moon cinematic universe, man.
Right.
Too real. But going into my eBay transing that I've been kind of jumping into, I've been trying to do two things: one selling things and one trying to buy something. So the selling part is that on my day-to-day 9 to 5, I've been at my job for a really long time at this point. Everyone knows me as the resident friendly neighborhood ultra nerd. I have the pop vinyls up because I'm a poser, and I have the old ratty Borderlands 2 mouse pad. Everybody knows me to be the nerd. So I'm just walking to the elevator, and like one of the CEOs of my company walks by me
Yeah.
and says, "Hey, Mike G, I know you're into this nerd stuff. I have a friend that's an executive at Warner Brothers. You want a box full of these pop vinyl Batman the Animated Series?"
Get out of here.
And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll bring it tomorrow." I'm like, "Yeah, I ultra need those." And like 2 days later,
Gosh.
I'm going back to my desk and I bump into her. She's like, "Oh yeah, here." She just gives me like a paper bag full of like 3 Star Wars pop vinyls and a box of the blind box of the pop vinyl Batman the Animated Series keychains. There's like 50 of them in there, like a full retail box. She's like,
Yeah.
"Here." And so I'm happier than a kid in slop. I'm just like, hey, walking past people, "Hey, you like Batman? Here you go, scoop, throw them one like a ninja star."
Yeah.
And then I just open them all because I'm a big child. And I now have the complete set for the Batman the Animated Series pop vinyl keychains, just all of them, even the rare ones that are super hard to find on
Yeah.
eBay. So I want to create kind of like a curio cabinet for them, or maybe like a display case, and sell that
That
on,
would be cool.
you know what I'm saying? Because I want to go
Yeah.
to Michael's and create a cool little backdrop
You want to go
for.
to your house?
You know what? Every time I walk into Michael's, I tell them this is all mine, and I get
Yeah.
kicked out. So
And then once you start taking your shirt off and
getting comfortable, I can't get comfortable there. You know, they sell sodas and stuff there. I just crack open a soda and start drinking it. They're like, "Sir, you have to pay for that." But I'm like, "But I'm Michael." They're like, "Oh, my bad."
my
Like,
bad. Yes.
like if your name is Carl, like Samson Jr., you can just
Withers,
walk
yeah.
into a Carl's Jr. and eat whatever you want. You know,
Yeah. So how do I get my hands on some of this merch?
I don't necessarily know how to eBay yet, so I'm still
Okay.
figuring that part out. I kind of just want to keep it for myself because I'm a damn nerd, but
Uh-huh.
I have
The
I have some extras too.
Gollum phenomenon. Uh-oh.
Hoarding phenomenon. If you look into my room, remember the scene in Akira where Tetsuo's arm just turns into a giant flesh baby and it's like absorbing the city and stuff? That's
I'm
like
sure the fans will remember that.
the fans everyone remembers Akira, dog.
Everyone. Well, you assumed.
There's no assumptions made, dog. Everyone. You know, you walk up to a 5-year-old playing Fortnite, you say, If you say Kaneda to a 5-year-old, they go Tetsuo, and you go Kaneda. Yeah, they know. It's built into the DNA of all that live on this earth. So that was my week, and I downloaded the new Spider-Man DLC, Turf Wars. I was playing a little bit of it today. The rain effects look cool. Just as far as I've got.
Rain effects.
Rain effects look cool, but other than that, we'll see. It's like dead center. It's this Empire Strikes Back of that little DLC collection. So I'm curious to see how it ends. So more on that later. I probably should have it finished by the next episode. Yeah, man. So you want to get into some news?
Yes. On to the news. I don't want to keep going that. It's like it's too close to that one YouTuber. I got to figure out.
Them who shall not be named. Dog.
Yeah, we have to figure out our own like little like tag.
If Mike G wasn't lazy, he would just create something and just cut it in. But too bad.
Too bad.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog would say, that's no good.
That's no good. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Eat a chili dog. Oh man, speaking of things that are bad for you, did you see the Leprechaun Returns trailer?
Yes, he truly looks like he's been to the hood and back twice.
I thought I was the only one who noticed, like, how is the makeup effects worse than they were when the movie first came out?
Right.
The makeup effects look so bad. Like, I remember I love the first Leprechaun. All the other sequels and stuff I can really do without.
Yeah.
The first Leprechaun was legit scary when I was a little kid. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it looked good. Warwick Davis killed it in the role. Like, I really admire that movie for its wackiness. But this one just looks... Remember that movie Yoga Hosers that Kevin Smith made?
Yeah.
He would, shoot his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter just running around being on set and just goofing around.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries. This trailer reminds me of Yoga Hosers because it's so goofy and in all the wrong ways. It's like, I wonder if Jennifer Aniston's in this movie. That's like a cameo. She's not doing anything.
Yeah, there's no way she's gonna get anywhere close to this movie.
I would love it to see Jennifer Aniston make like a Sigourney Weaver level cameo as like exposition.
Yeah,
that'd be dope.
How many Leprechaun movies have there been?
I want to guesstimate like 7. Not counting.
Yeah, they're making it sound like there's 7. Not counting
like 7. Counting the Hornswoggle film that was done very recently that WWE Network produced. Counting that one because I know Warwick Davis.
Leprechaun Origins.
Yeah, there you go. Leprechaun Origins.
If we take the series as a whole, there's no. I would say there is no unifying theme in the sense of what genre this movie is in.
It's not horror. It used to be horror. You know what I'm saying? Like the first one was legit scary. The second one, and then it just got dumber and dumber as you go along.
I guess we would put it as a horror fantasy comedy.
Yeah, horror comedy. Because once you go to space, like, what is Jason X? Is that still horror? Is that movie scary at all?
Sci-fi horror.
Jeez, gothic horror.
Yeah. I think this is one of the. This could be in the category that I do for several film series of like, why do you need to go there? Who is asking for in like 2018? Where's all the Leprechaun movies? You know what I mean?
You know the corporate scumbag answer though. It's just to maintain to maintain the licensing, dude. Like you have to.
But that assumes that in the future there's going to be someone that's wanting to put like Christopher Nolan level money into a Leprechaun film.
Like Mad Max Fury Road came back and just killed it, and like that was an
Yes.
ultra dead franchise. So you can't let go of the license, man. You never know. Can you
Right.
imagine if like Guillermo del Toro did a Leprechaun film? It'd be
Well, we can
stupid.
only hope that Disney buys them all up so that there's no need to worry about everyone
I'm
about
not feeling
licenses.
Disney right now. I'm kind of mad at Disney right now.
Yeah, what did Disney do to you?
No, it's just
Or decide hate Jewish people?
wow. Just you want to lean into the mic on that one? Oh, we're gonna let that rock.
Yeah.
No, it's just they keep showing like Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, but I haven't seen one Square Enix character at all.
Oh,
That's very worrying to me because Kingdom Hearts is a balance. It's not
there needs
not
to
a
be
Disney
a
thing.
balance
There needs to be a balance.
in the kingdom.
And Disney had this problem with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, where they're very heavy-handed with their representation. And
Yeah.
I think Disney just doesn't do games well. They just don't handle them correctly. When it comes to Star Wars Battlefront, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and what I'm seeing from Kingdom Hearts, which I love Kingdom Hearts as a series, just show me Noctis like driving with Sora, and I'll be totally cool. Just I get it. But
Yes.
I haven't seen one Square Enix character, not a Chocobo, not a Cactar, none of that.
Was the Bouncer a Square Enix game?
No, but it predates Kingdom Hearts, and the character looks just like Sora in a weird way.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Man.
I have my own reasons why I don't like Disney, or like I have my issues with some Disney actions. For instance, the upcoming Avengers movie is going to be 3 hours plus. If you read the
It needs to be longer.
and there's a podcast that I listened to that went over this. This podcast is called "We'll See You in Hell." It's Joe DeRosa and Pat Walsh, pretty much sitting in Joe's house, and they just talk up a storm. And I thought they were done at the beginning of the year, but now they're back, baby.
We're back, baby.
Yes, and they talked about how in the past that timeline for a film were for like massive films, like the 10 Commandments or Schindler's List, and then they broke it down perfectly, going, now it's for a bunch of people in plastic suits punching each other.
What exactly is the 10 Commandments if not a bunch of people in plastic suits punching each other?
Wait, what did you just say?
What exactly is the 10 Commandments? I'm not going to repeat that.
You heard it here, folks.
Can we get a 10 Commandments cinematic universe? You know how many Bible stories will be active on the screen? Like a live action story of Job?
Well, the problem is that the last time they've tried to do something that was not like crazy connected to the Christian film industry, we got Noah. Noah
was dope, dude.
Yeah, Noah was dope, but it had some controversial things connected to it that alienates a certain audience that you need for these type of films.
Anytime, see the problem. We're going to go into this really quick, and I hope I do not offend.
Yes,
is that with religious film?
Crossfire.
Huh?
MOTN Crossfire.
MOTN Crossfire. Jeez. With any religious film, there is a thin line you can walk between the fantastical and the real, right?
Right.
You have the fantastical on one end with VeggieTales and Noah, where it's just like people doing punch combos. But then it gets too real, where you have the Passion of the Christ, and nobody can watch it because it's too real.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're seeing like it's disturbingly real. So what do you do if you want to create that content and have it be meaningful but at the same time entertaining? It's such a hard line to walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not offend, because you're going to offend someone.
And I think they've done it in the past. I believe there's the animated musical Prince of Egypt that would be good. I
think that's the best representation of all time.
Right. And even the Charlton Heston 10 Commandments, which we were talking about, is good to the point of they still show it every Easter, up there with Charlie Brown on Christmas.
Dude. It's a classic.
Yes.
Like I joke, but the Ten Commandments is it's film gold. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
Now,
tinsel at its finest.
I don't think Noah can reach that level just because there's a different different times, and just
I don't think Noah wanted to reach that level.
no.
No one knew what it was going in for. We're going to be a CGI Michael Bay explosions.
Right.
That's all they wanted to get out of it, man.
Right. Well, I would just say, like, I would think Ridley. I'm easy now. Ridley Scott could make a good. No, I thought maybe he did make one. Christopher Nolan.
Scott,
Christopher Nolan would be a good director to tap for, like a Job or something that has like loud horns to announce a big thing to come out.
Before we move on, we're going to do a little bit of experimentation here on the podcast. Okay. I'm going to set up winner to pitch the best Bible movie of all time. Okay. We haven't rehearsed this. He has no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just going to have him tell you the story of Jacob.
The story of Jacob. Okay. So, hello, folks. My name is Christopher Nolan. I'm wanting to pitch this movie to you. I am Christopher Nolan, but I still feel like I need to pitch to keep my energy levels hyped. I've been going to a guru, and this is what I've been told to do. So imagine, if you will, a Genesis story.
Yes.
With the budget of Inception. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about horns going off every second when there's a need. There's like a okay. I don't need to give you the full script. I'm just going to give you an important scene right now where you have Jacob fighting an angel, right?
Yeah.
So you have, first of all, you have a mental scene, which, hey, Inception, baby. I invented Inception. And you have like, and then you just have like a kind of like a spiral dream scene. And then out of nowhere, there's like a bunch of people walking in a line, and then Jacob grabs one going, "Who are you?" And then the face melts and it becomes an angel, and then the fight starts going on. And then you have like a Mortal Kombat type scene where the angel touches his rib and it goes ting and it breaks and the guy's like, "Whoa, dude." Jacob 3D 2022.
Jacob walks up to the angel and says, "I'm gonna need my blessing." The angel's like, I got angel stuff to do. I'm sorry. Can we put a rain check on your blessing? Jacob's like, "No, sir. I'm gonna need my blessing." So the angel just says, "Sorry, bro," and flies off.
This isn't a Kevin Smith movie. I don't know.
Grabs the angel and puts him in a headlock and spiral DDTs him back to Earth with this big explosion and like sound wave rustling through the trees. And for 24 hours straight, they just wrestle and do combos and do Devil May Cry table hoppers.
And then Jacob sees a little bit of blood trickling down the face of the angel, and he goes, "Even angels bleed."
Behold the angel who bleeds.
And then cue Dragon Force metal music, and
Fire in the Flames.
So that's kind of a hard character. I probably would pitch Jacob as the first to go.
You give it Christopher Nolan, and you get the Wu Ping brothers to do the fight choreography, dog.
Yeah. That would be just one scene, though, in this movie that's going to be 3 hours.
It's all you need, dude. It'd be like 300. You get the lead up. You tell us who Jacob is. It's a 3-hour fight scene. At the end, he just gets his blessing. And then the end credit stinger is that the angel raises his hand up and says, "I take back the blessing, bro."
I'll give that to Ridley Scott. I'll give it to Ridley Scott, not Christopher Nolan.
Ridley Scott couldn't make a good ham sandwich, nevertheless.
Christopher Nolan has to do a Jonah movie. There you go. So you just see Jonah like floating. Okay, I'm just destroying your Jacob premise. I'm just going Jonah. Jonah's floating in the water, and you just see him stop, and then you just see a gray blob landmass sort of thing that is elevating him above the water. Like, why is it so brown? And then you like bird's eye view pan, and it's like the whole water is just a big black like shadow, and you just hear wong wong, and then the whale just starts pulling out of the water, wong wong, and he's like, "What is this magic?" Wong wong, and then it's like
a trailer for Meg where you see the boat, you see like the megalodon's mouth just coming onto about to break water.
Jonah 2032.
Rated R.
Rated X.
Rated NC-17. We have to move on, but those are two awesome ideas. You can steal them if you want, Hollywood.
Yes.
Oh man, that was awesome. I just want.
It's like
I
you
just
stole paychecks from the original writers of Aladdin. Okay, moving on.
Dang, back on Disney.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who stole things, this guy probably stole the role. John Cryer from what is it, 2.5 Men?
Yes, 2.5 Men. Hot Shots 1, I believe, and
he was in Hot Shots Part 2.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He had a stupid clip in that. And Pretty in Pink, right, Ducky?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, and he's going to be playing Lex Luthor on CW's Supergirl, which is a big character.
Yeah. On a small show.
small screen.
But got him.
That's when that's the rib touch where he just goes ting, your rib cage just explodes because an angel touched it. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I want to hold judgment, because I found that comedians usually make great dramatic actors for some reason. Like, they just can pull that out of themselves. Yeah. And before people start bagging on it and be like, "Oh no, it's going to be 3 Men and a Kryptonian," and all the stupid jokes, just give the guy a chance, man. He may kill it. We don't know. What does he have to lose? It's it's the
CW.
It's the what do we call it? What'd you call it? The crude wilderness or something like that?
Like
it's
that.
The crude
wilderness.
I want to see who cares, but I like CW shows, so I'm not going to clown it too hard.
I mean, I go through a phase of like watching Supernatural.
Yeah, man.
And it's not a phase of me like sitting down watching it. It's more like I'm doing laundry. Let's have something in the background to silence the demons in my mind. I need. They're. There's sometimes captivating. I like how CW is doing more nerd, like they listen to nerds. Would you say?
I think the CW, what they get right is that, like you said, they pay attention to their fan base.
There you go.
They feed their fan base what they want, which is, I think, why their shows have such longevity. You know what I mean? Right. The actors love doing it, so I bet they treat their actors great. Poor Jared Padalecki, has been on the show since he was like a teenager, on Supernatural. And they don't want to stop. They're just going and going. It's like Married with Children, these guys.
Right.
And they listen to their fan base. What do you guys want?
Yeah.
You guys
compared to Sci-Fi Channel, which
you don't listen to anyone.
Don't listen to anyone, but still gets monies for some reason. Okay.
Why is that channel? We can't have G4, but Sci-Fi Channel still floating around.
Right.
Come on, guys, get it together. But we'll see. I think Sharknado made them so much money. It's not on the docket, but Venom made so much money. I'm so mad about it.
Yep. That's what happens when you have junkies. Okay. It doesn't matter if you put in product out, people are going to watch it.
It's so. Oh, we're moving on. I can't. I gotta move on. Speaking of things that are just some may perceive to be bad, Sony is skipping E3 for the first time ever. Sony is skipping E3 2019. What does this mean for the future of Sony gaming? What does it mean for the future of gaming, period? What does it mean for the future of E3? Your thoughts?
I love the way that Mike G put it. Like, what's the future of gaming or the future of E3? Technically, I would say, like, if you saw their presentation this year, not
Yeah.
much, not much will
Yeah.
change. The presentation, I think, barely the beginning of it did not take place in E3.
Right? It was like down the street or something weird, right?
And I think that's kind of like testing the waters of like PlayStation moving not in E3, but maybe having their own show. I would say similar. It's the name's escaping me, but Nintendo's own show that they do.
They have their directs.
Yeah,
Nintendo have Nintendo directs,
right?
You know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to wait for more info to determine why PlayStation did this. Is PlayStation going to have their own press release during E3? And then will E3 respond by like not having any important, like having PC Mag have their presentation while PlayStation is doing theirs?
It's always fun with the PC conferences floating around, but I think it's one or two things, and this is tinfoil hat time because nobody knows unless you're Cass or I. I think one, they just had nothing to show, like you said. Last year's conference was, let's just call it what it is. It was lacking.
Yes,
there weren't that many new. Every game that was shown was either known or already heavily advertised. You know,
but would you say like Blizzard was also? I mean, is that? I think that's going to be more of a that's just the way a couple businesses are right now. They're just lacking. It's bad timing. Blizzard, for instance, their big announcement was a mobile game.
Right? That was their show closer. It's rough right now.
Yeah.
And I think most of it is because we're on the cusp of a new generation of gaming. Yes. Like everybody's putting their eggs in their next basket. So PS4 doesn't have many more exclusives before, you know, drum roll, PS5 is announced, PS5 which will be in the next couple. You know, like everyone's slowing down. Like no one, this console. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 will be the last huge game to be on this. PlayStation usually closes it out with one last game, and may it be Death Stranding, may it be Last of Us 2. I think will be a big closer for the amazing generation of games. I think PS4 had a really good generation at the end of the day, and I think PlayStation is just really biding their time because they're putting all their eggs into the PS5 basket.
Right.
And when the next time they do go to E3, it's going to be insane because you're probably going to have Final Fantasy VII remake information, new console information, definitely. And they're just going to blow it out the water. But for now, I'm just like, if you don't have nothing to show, then,
But this continues the pattern of action that PlayStation has shown in the past, right? Of not playing well with others. Fortnite.
Yeah. Fortnite. Crossplay.
Yeah.
I think that's just them smelling their own farts because they won the console war this generation.
Yes.
And
that is fairly accurate.
You know, it's just them thinking like we don't need to share, we don't need to cross play. People are coming to us anyway, and that's not the attitude to have. So I'm hoping that they get their heads out of their lower regions, and this next console generation they learn how to play with others. Because I think that's where all this is leading towards. It's like you said a couple of shows ago. You know, the one console, right? The some would say that would be a PC at the end of the day, but we don't know. You know. I think there'll always be a place for cross-pollination, but it's like asking McDonald's to sell Whoppers. You know, it's just not going to happen. It's just branding at its worst. So
Right.
we'll see. We'll see. Piggybacking off this news, Xbox is rumored to have a disc-less Xbox One in 2019. No disc drive, which will be the first for a major console since what, the Vita? No, the Vita had even the Vita had a disc drive.
Right. I think that's
Well,
probably going to be a good choice to do.
don't have any games anyway, so why eliminate that part?
Oh, jeez. Well,
Sorry, Xbox fans.
you have to look at how can we keep Xbox One from not fading away from the light, and I think removing the disc, maybe it will lower the cost a little bit, or like just they could focus more on making a better Xbox, the console itself. But
Yeah,
I could be totally like,
streamline.
I have no clue what I'm talking about with that.
Nah, I can piggyback off that because I think Xbox's strength and where it's beating out PlayStation is the
Yeah.
backwards compatibility stuff. Being able to play Xbox original games, and
Right.
Xbox 360 games on it, and them having like a service where you can just stream those. Like I think it's called Xbox Live or something. I think Xbox Live is what that is.
Mhm.
So if I would buy an Xbox Live machine, if I can just play old school games that have been up-resed and have a ball,
Right.
play Knights of the Old Republic 2 or old school the Halo 2, and that's just my box. It's my retro box with no disk drive to slow it down or to weigh it down. I could see the marketing in that.
Right. And
You
I
know,
just read the article that like right now with the disc disc in it, disc drive in it, it's currently $299, and they're expecting the discless console to be $200 or less. So you're saving $100 there, and
it's
that
not
is
that.
a crazy save considering that if Xbox does allow it, you can buy an external disk drive cheaper. I would imagine,
Yeah,
and just hook it up that way
yeah,
and
plug
watch the magic happen.
and play, baby. So
Yeah,
I don't think like the next Xbox console should necessarily be discless because I think there's still something to be had for the physical copy. There's
well,
something that you know what I
yeah.
mean.
Well, that's why I'm saying that I would say that even if they do go discless, then there's definitely going to be, well, you can buy this attachment.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
I
and
can see that.
yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
I don't know if you're into
But
this.
hold on
Winner.
with it. Going back, like, so let's mentally think about who are the people that are going to be affected the most from the future of discless gaming consoles.
People who play video games since they were a kid.
No. You gotta think. You gotta think.
They're not proving
Non.
it.
That's too meta or whatever. I'm talking about GameStop. Those type of businesses where
It's not
their bread
dead.
and butter is just having a ton of old games, discs floating around going, buy one, get one free. You know what? Here's 5 free ones. Just take them, sort of thing. And
It's fun.
now what are
Yeah.
they going to do?
GameStop worked so hard to drive business away from the mom and pop places who used to do this years before we knew what a GameStop was
Yeah.
or our electronic boutique was. And now they're facing this fate because it's all digital.
Look what you've done.
Right? You're holding the Book of the Dead and you're just like, what have we done? And now they're just freaking out. It's like you go to a GameStop and there used to be lines to buy games. Now
Right.
you just walk in. Nobody cares.
And
I haven't bought
a
a physical game.
yeah. I mean, a big issue with GameStops nowadays is their system of not trying to specifically sell games to you, not specifically being a stop for games, but being a stop for GameStop credit cards.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Like all major electronic stores are just cell phone salesmen. You walk into a Radio Shack,
Right.
like, man, I need an RF channel. What kind of phone you got? Like, I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just trying to buy this, this coax cable.
Which I can understand for that. I mean, we go to car lots and then people try to sell you cars. But what I would say is the kicker, though, is that they're not trying to sell you cars. They're trying to sell you a different mode of paying for different things.
Well, yeah, everything. There's a Burger King credit card, for Lord's sake. There's everything.
I need to get that.
Get that Burger King credit card, my man.
Yeah.
You get a free you get a free icy with every purchase, dog. You know what I'm saying? But and they try to sell you magazines and buy their become their like GameStop exclusive card where you can get a discount on used games.
Yeah.
But if everyone's going
discless, I used to love as a kid. Used to love getting that.
Man, I got burned on used games back in the day when I was a kid. Yeah. But selling games, on the other hand, I used to do that all the time. I used to sell my games all the time.
That was your side hustle?
Yeah, man. My mom wouldn't give me, lunch money. Like I can sell the Guide in Black,
Yeah.
Get a quick 3 cents.
Beat them up and take the game and take the money.
Yeah, man. I beat them up. It's like when you rob the pizza man. You get pizza and you keep your money. The cops don't come or anything.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
All right. So I interrupted you before you were going into your next news that is probably not
just for me.
Cup of tea.
Just for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of people stealing your money, Final Fantasy 14 is dropping a new expansion.
Weren't we talking about yesterday that there were going to be no more expansions, or was that for a different Final Fantasy?
That was for Final Fantasy 15.
And you notice how ridiculous that statement is, people, where I just said there's a different Final Fantasy. Go on.
Don't do this. Because I don't want people to come at you. Don't do this.
Don't do this?
I almost want to skip this article just to save you, Winner.
Okay.
Because there's people who will talk to you for 4 hours on Twitter and just explaining why there's the oxymoron of Final Fantasy 15. Maybe convention that's the dumbest of all time, but there are people who will digitally fight you, man.
Yeah, well,
I can't with any of that. I get it. Trust me, but I want to save you from that smoke, as the kids say.
Could you explain for listeners and myself what it means that it's Final Fantasy Online?
Okay, I used to play a lot of 14, a lot of 14, like 1,000 hours in. Really play it, and what it is, it's a subscription service where you create a character and you have different classes, and it's an MMORPG, and you play the game with your buddies and you run raids and you do instances and you level up your character and you get all your pretty little costumes and housing and mounts, and it's just Warcraft, right? But done very well. I will say Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn is one of the better MMORPGs on the market today. Given its company,
Yeah.
It's top 3,
Gosh.
People are really on this game and it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's pretty much Square's bread and butter right now. So they're dropping another expansion, which is going to focus, I believe, on the Dark Knights, which is a tank class. So I'm excited to see Shield Breakers, getting into that game. Even though I don't play the game anymore because subscription services for video games just really irks my soul. Why should I pay $14? You pay $60 to buy the game, but then you have to pay $14 a month every month to keep playing the game.
Right. Hey, they did it for World of Warcraft, right? In the beginning.
It's crack, dude. It's the worst. It's a money machine. I get it.
It's a money machine. I get it.
It's nuts, man.
Right.
People do it. I guess it's like, what is it, Netflix or Final Fantasy 14? It's like, I guess I'll play WoW.
Right. At least they have their act together now with some free servers, I believe.
Yeah, free services. AAA services. Speaking of Netflix, we're going to close out the show with this last news article from the guy who made the Castlevania anime that's on Netflix, which is really, really good. I recommend watching both seasons. He is saying that he's going to now pin and showrun a Devil May Cry animated series that exists in the same universe as Castlevania, like a Capcom X Konami merger anime bootleg universe is what he calls it. And I've had a couple of days to think about this because I love. It's well documented my love for Devil May Cry, and I like Castlevania a lot as well. I love the lore, and it can make sense, but
No.
I kind of don't want those. I don't want those two flavors too close together. I don't know. As long as the show is good, I guess. Mm-hmm. But how are Capcom and Konami going to play well together when Konami is just toxic? And Konami owns the rights to Castlevania, for those who are not aware. And Capcom owns the rights to Devil May Cry. And this showrunner saying he's making a bootleg universe combining the two in some kind of weird timeline, because Devil May Cry takes place in present time or near future, whatever. And Castlevania takes place like in the 1300s or something nuts like that. So there's enough space in between to make it make sense. Like, I don't know.
Man.
What do you think about this, man? Do you have an opinion on any of this?
Yeah, well, Castlevania, I'm slowly getting through it. I've read some reviews of the second season, how they could have cut a bunch of the episodes out. What I was reading, it was essentially like the reason why they liked the first season was because there was not as many episodes, and they were able to do an entire season in just like 4 or 5 episodes or whatever. But then it's like the second season, there's a lot of dragging out that's going on. I still have to get to those episodes to see for myself, but I would say that they should first figure out why Castlevania is so popular first, and then work on that, and then separately work on Devil May Cry before even thinking about crossing the universes. Because once you let that genie out of the bottle, there's no
there's no turning back.
Yeah, and I say that, but then I go like, well, real shows do it all. I mean, not real shows, like live action shows do that all the time, where they'll have like a crossover. But my reaction to those all the time were like, when I was younger, like, oh, that's cool. But now I'm older, I'm going like, that's kind of like tacky, or like that's a sign that the show is like desperate. Mm-hmm. When you have CSI crossing over with the show Las Vegas, or Crossing Jordan, that shows how.
Funny you mentioned, because as a kid, I used to hate those crossovers as a kid, like Jetsons meet the Flintstones. You know what I mean? I hated their crossover as a kid because the animation quality wasn't as good.
Right.
Like you said, I saw through it. Like I was, when it's like Happy Days meets the Munsters and weird stuff like that would happen back in the day when we were kids. You just see through it, and I'm just like, ew, like,
right. Or like the Family Guy Simpsons crossover.
Right. Desperation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But we are in an age of where it is a very popular in entertainment to have ton of crossover to happen. Superheroes being in the same movie together and like spending a good hour on that topic of like, well, you're a superhero, well, I'm a superhero, well, we have disagreements, let's make out. That type of thing,
and then we fight.
Yes,
like you said, I just want them to make a good Castlevania content, and then make good Devil May Cry content, and then if it happens to meet somewhere in the middle, I'm okay with that. But don't let your focus be the crossover. Let it be the content. You know what I'm saying? Like, Devil May Cry is strong enough. Not really. Devil May Cry, for as much as I love it, I'll admit the Devil May Cry storyline is not the cleanest. Same could be said for Castlevania. People, please don't come at me. I know it's great, but let's solidify these two very different properties before we start throwing around words like universes, you know
Good
what I mean?
or better.
Good
Yeah.
or profitable, you know what I mean? Let's don't throw these words around just yet. Let's see what this man can do uh with this anime and go from there. Absolutely.
All right.
What are you looking forward to next week? This week?
Oh, sleep, I got me some Diet Coke and I got me some Jimmy Beam.
Yeah,
James Beam. Beam Chris yeah. So, I'm going to do some of that. There was a sale on Paladins cuz Hi-Rez was having some type of conference or whatever. So,
yeah.
I bought the champion pack, so I'm probably going to play a lot of that. I'm abstaining from League of Legends because I got super salty and I just need to take a step back from that.
I hear that.
And yeah, and I've got multiple Thanksgiving plans.
Straight up, man. I have one Thanksgiving plan, and that's to go to my grandmother's and make tons of plates, my dude. You know,
Yeah,
because she got the good
but are you
stuff.
gonna put food on those plates after you're done making them?
No, just make the plates. That's what she likes me
Yeah.
to do, dog. Just make sure they're nice and clean for the rest of the family, dog.
Yes. Your grandmother lives in an old adobo where you
Yeah,
make
man. You make
your
them out
own
of clay.
plates.
You
Yeah.
draw in the plates. I'm gonna make like a gargoyles plate for my nana, dog. It's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, I'm looking forward to playing more Soul Calibur. I jumped back into that after taking a break because I got salty because decided I'm going to stick with using arcade stick and not the joypad.
Yeah.
And it's a learning curve because it's like retraining your brain. But now that I got the hang of it, I'm getting some W's, so I'm gonna keep playing that. Finishing up the Spider-Man DLC. Definitely going to be talking about that next week. Um, like you said, Thanksgiving stuff for us Yankees here in the States. We definitely celebrate that. So it's gonna be a lot of family and fellowship on that front. And really just as soon as Black Friday happens, it's Christmas. So gotta get the showing gear for the Christmas season. So much like what we did for Halloween, where the show just took a tonal shift into horror. For Christmas, it's going to take a tonal shift into unconventional Christmas. So I'm very excited to
Oh,
give you guys a little sneak peek at what we have planned for the end of the year. It's
yeah.
going to be fun
This
stuff.
is the first time I'm hearing about it, and I'm interested.
Interested. Do you have any passing thoughts, my good man, before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check out the podcast. We'll see you in hell again. That's Joe DeRosa and Pat Walsh, two comedians and writers who are work in Hollywood. I don't. Of
I'm gonna
course
check
they
it
do.
out. This is my first time
Yeah,
hearing about these guys, and I'm curious.
yeah.
So
Well, they were like one of the first podcasts I listened to, and I listened to their inaugural episode, and I thought they were done. Like they said that they're taking a break, and then it felt like it was forever. But really, they switched to podcast networks, and now they're back in full form, and I'm loving every minute of it. And their conversations are just so honest to me. Like they literally told people don't break your bank coming to our like show sort of thing. Like we're going to get to you in a matter of time, but we don't want to be the reason why you spend a lot of money, essentially spend a lot of money to come see us. Like we're going to get to you soon.
that would be the
Just
dream, dude. Can you imagine doing
yeah.
road shows and stuff like that?
Well, I was imagining like a Masters of the Nerdicon or something like
Yeah.
MOTN con
The trash
of
mode
just
section will be lit, Doug.
I just, all right, boys, dump the trash, and it's just a bunch of trash. Yeah,
And everybody just swims in it, makes trash angels, Doug. The mighty section will be
it'd
real.
be Andy Kaufman esque.
It'll be very Andy Kaufman esque. And
Yes.
the Mike G section will be a bunch of dudes dressed like the Fly playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yes.
Ew. It'll be all gooey and gross.
Debating over joystick or arcade stick.
Yeah,
Or,
man. You're
yeah.
gonna see some guy dressed like the Darkness from Legend with the big giant Tim Curry horns. You want to get a first to 3 in Mortal Kombat Ultimate? Get away from me, man. our con's going to be a hot mess. That's the future. I cannot wait. And we get closer to that future every day with your support. So if you'd like to support this show monetarily, you can always visit our Patreon, where with the low cost of $1, you can help support the show and help us become bigger and better. And if you wanted to support the show non-monetarily, you can always like our content, leave a comment, and please subscribe. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your host, Trash Monk the Third.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.